Russia's oil-gas revenues could drop by a third in 2023. Sanctions, the closing of European markets, and energy price limits are undermining the Russian economy.
The Russian budget is very well short of money, and the longer such a restriction continues, the Russian budget revenues will actually decrease. According to preliminary estimates, the total flow of petrodollars to the budget is about 35%. So, consider that these amounts will be less by 20–25%.
Already, the Kremlin is losing $172 million a day thanks to the oil price cap, and after February 5th, when the restrictions will also apply to oil products, the Russian budget will lose $280 million every day.
It is clear that this year will be quite difficult for the Russian budget. Russia has lost its premium market for both oil and mainly gas. Alexandra Prokopenko, independent analyst, former employee of the Moscow Central Bank, in a comment for the Politico publication.
As a result of the sanctions, the export of Russian gas has decreased 1.5 times, from 250 to 140 billion cubic meters. With a reduction in exports, production also falls, because there is nowhere to store energy resources, and Russia will have to close the fields. Millions of Russians will be left without work.
Не востребованы внутри страны ни природный газ, ни нефтяное сырье. И это означает, что в нынешнем году объемы добычи газа будут продолжать сокращаться. В первую очередь пострадают европейские регионы Российской Федерации. Это Татарстан, Башкортостан.
Neither natural gas nor crude oil is in demand domestically, which means that gas production will continue to decline this year. There will be a significant reduction in oil production. First of all, the European regions of the Russian Federation will suffer. It is Tatarstan, Bashkortostan. The shortage in production will affect the Khanty-Mansiysk and Yamalo-Nenets regions, and this may lead to an outflow of the population from these regions.
Experts are sure that Russia will not be able to return to pre-war export volumes. It is impossible to find buyers for gas, and Federation's gas pipelines are focused on deliveries to Europe, and the EU countries have sharply reduced the consumption of blue fuel from Russia. There is no hope for the power of Siberia, a pipeline to China either. Its throughput capacity is small.
It is impossible to increase the supply of liquefied gas because Gazprom missed the moment when it was necessary to build a fleet of gas carriers. They considered that this was unnecessary, and now the Russian gas industry has neither large tonnage liquefaction technologies nor a fleet of gas carriers. Sunk when Indian companies began to buy Russian oil, it quickly passed, and now neither China nor India show a desire to buy more than they bought in Russia, and the logistical capabilities of Russia to export oil to the South Asia direction are limited.
At the same time, the Kremlin is increasing the financing of the war. Ammunition, missiles, equipment repairs, salaries, allowances for soldiers, and coffins cost billions of dollars. Therefore, Putin will save, as usual, on the Russians.
The first sign will be in March, when both embargoes will work and it will increase further. Naturally, the next step will be a drop in production and a decrease in payments under social programs, because social programs are an alternative to financing the military-industrial complex. Social programs will be cut, real incomes of Russians will decrease. Already last year, real incomes fell for the first time in a long time. The depth of the fall will increase.
However, the Kremlin has long been cutting spending. Infrastructure projects were the first to go under the knife. For example, the Kremlin saved 300 billion rubles on the railway, or rather on its absence. The Northern Latitudinal Way, a project of a railway line in the Arctic zone, was postponed for an unknown period. Social programs have also been cut, even those that Putin announced personally. For example, payments for children. Reported by Roman Smoler, Ksenia Barvinenko, UATV News.